There's been the Huntsman girls. There's been the Romney boys. But I don't know if I've heard much from the Santorum.
The Santorum 7?
Yeah, the Santorum 7, yeah. So if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about the family and about yourselves.
Well, we're the two oldest of 7. I'm the oldest. There are 3 girls and 4 boys. I'm 20, the youngest is 3, so span the gap of all ages. Big, happy family.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oldest daughter, oldest son, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
19. So.
What's it like having a dad run for the presidency?
Oh gosh, I mean, you name it. The schedule is insane. The people you meet are awesome. The enthusiasm out here is just tangible. I mean, the whole experience is almost, we're pinching ourselves because it's so humbling to meet so many people that are, kind of rallying behind the torch that you're bearing and, this awesome message at a great time in our nation's history. So just it's a real honor to be out on the road, be able to see it firsthand and experience it. So we're just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, but it's undoubtedly worth it. I mean, just the experience and everything, and getting to go all these cool places and see all these amazing people. It's just really good. So.
Ann Romney likes to say on the trail that when Mitt came to her about a year ago, I think it was, and he said he wanted to run again, that she said she had one question for him: can you save this country? What did you say when your dad or your mom came to you and said, I want to run for the presidency? What'd you guys say? Come on, be candid with us. Tell us.
I think the responses were different. I mean, we have all ages in our family. So Patrick, who's my 10-year-old brother, he asked, would there be an ice cream machine at the White House? And that was his first question. And then more serious was, how would this change our lives? How would, all of this affect us? But then there was a moment, I think, when we all paused and we were like, but that's not the point. This is about something so much bigger than any of us. That, all the sacrifices that you have to make along the way, that being away from home so much, like I said, the rigorous schedule, the attacks that, you have to endure, that all of that was a small sacrifice in comparison to the great things that are really at stake in this election.
Sure.
The, fundamental freedoms. So.
Okay. What'd you say?
I don't know. I mean, just a lot of different things going through my mind, just about everything. I thought it'd be definitely worth it. Just why not?
Do you ever get really mad at these people that are criticizing your dad? And because I mean, as your dad, he's like, this is what he's doing. He knows that this is. But I got 2 kids, and I mean, if I was getting criticized or my wife was getting criticized.
That's the thing. That people, I hope everyone realizes that these are real people that are doing this, and that it hurts. It's hard, and I don't think, as much as I've seen with my dad, for sometimes the candidates themselves, it just rolls off their back, but for the people they love.
Their families, it's a lot.
It's hard.
Because it's just politics for them, but it's sort of personal.
It's personal for you. The things they say that it can be hard, but my parents have always shown us that by their example that we pray for them, and and this primary process has been no different. That we know that it's hard, that all these families are making sacrifices, and the attacks are they go around, and so we just try and lift them up.
So who's your favorite non-Santorum candidate in this race?
Oh gosh, I'm too close to this. I don't know. I think they're all good people. I really do.
Sure.
And I know that you hear that line all the time, that any of them would be better than Obama. But I really think that.
So what if you weren't doing this year? What would you be doing? What would you guys be doing?
College. I mean, we're both in college right now. She'd be a junior, and I'd be a freshman in college. So.
Where would you want to go?
Haven't decided yet. Thinking of doing military, possibly, or OTC, or maybe one of the academies. So.
Okay. What about you, Elizabeth?
I go to the University of Dallas. I would have been a junior this year.
The University of Dallas? Yep. So what took you there from Pennsylvania or Virginia, wherever you guys were living?
Yeah, well, I knew a lot of people that went there, so it kind of perked my interest. I applied, I looked at the curriculum. They have a great core where, you kind of share the basic foundations of Western civilization, just learning about history and philosophy, English, all the liberal arts. But then I always say that the curriculum, made me come and the people made me stay. I love the people there. It's a wonderful community, just really grateful. great teachers, awesome place.
What don't you guys can ask anything? What don't the media? What are we totally missing about your dad?
You know what's funny? Something I don't understand when people would say that he looks mad or he looks too serious. And number one, this is a very serious time in our nation's history, and of course you want to be lighthearted, but these are serious issues. So I mean, I always say that at first, but then it's passion, it's not anger. He loves our country so much. He wouldn't be here otherwise. So he's just really passionate about it. And then also, he's so funny and so laid back and so personal. I mean, he's our dad.
Like, what does he do that's funny? I personally eat about 1,000 chocolate chip cookies a day. What does he do?
Today we were driving in the car, and Dad had a couple minutes stuff, so talking to him, and pull out my iPod and start playing some Temple Run.
Yeah.
And he pulls out his, and we start competing.
He scored over 1 million on Temple
trying to get a higher score.
So just things like that.
Normal fun stuff, and it's.
He started singing in the car because he wanted to prove that he could sing better to James Taylor than me the other day. It was funny.
Yeah.
Does he ever use social media sites himself, or does he usually have other people doing that for him?
He tweets.
Yeah, he sometimes responds to things on his Facebook page. I mean, you can imagine how hard time is to come by, but he checks it out when he can, and he knows the value of it for sure.
Good, okay.
Big bus? You guys got a big Santorum bus?
No, we have a pickup truck and an SUV.
Yeah. So what if you were going to tell somebody else who was 18 or 19 that, hey, this is the one thing that you got to understand if your dad or mom's going to do this, what would you tell them?
That it requires a lot of sacrifice. I think my dad's been home for maybe 6 days since June, including Christmas, Thanksgiving. It's a lot of work. You have to really love your country and be willing to do that. Be willing to take the arrows that come with it. But I think you also have to have the right vision and to be able to articulate it well. My dad's always said something that's so fascinating. He said the greatest communicator has won every election since the age of television. And that it's a really important quality to look at in a candidate. And so I just say that I've always seen that with my dad. He's always been able to connect with people, always been good with words, and I think it's an important quality in a president.
So a lot of people talk a lot about how grueling the campaign trail is, but is there something that you say is the single best part that you've experienced along the way? Something that is really just, I mean, obviously it's all worth it, like you said, because you believe in your dad, but has there been truly great experiences that have really made it?
Every day. I remember once when I decided to take the semester off. I met someone, I was giving a talk at a poli-sci class at a college, and this handicapped woman came up to me afterward and had tears in his eyes, and he just shook my hand and he said, "Thank you so much for being a voice when I can't. I don't have one." And I called my dad, and I was in tears, and I was like, this makes it all worth it, and he's laughing at me, but it's moments like that you remember why you're doing this, that you're not just doing something that is a broad vision, but this is about the people you meet and inspiring and creating hope again, and in our country and really in its people. So that's why I'm encouraged. That's the best part to me, is meeting all these great people.
I mean, I would say the same, and just meeting all the people.
I mean, it's fun. You have all these late nights after all the debates. We always go out to eat. I think we found every fast food restaurant that's open till 2 in the morning in every debate city. And, you just hang out with the team on the campaign trail. It really is like a family ordeal. And, one of us is always with my dad, and then all the people who have are with us. I mean, we have had the most amazing people just come on board our staff.
Yeah, our staff.
And half of them, my dad's known for longer than I've been alive. It's just the most amazing people. Again, we've just really been blessed.
What's your dad's favorite food?
Oh gosh.
Favorite food? Oh.
He likes pasta arrabbiata, pasta. He's Italian, so a lot of Italian dishes. What's that lemon pasta dish? He likes that one.
Chocolate ice cream.
Raisinets, chocolate ice cream, chocolate everything. Milkshakes.
So I spoke to your daughter and your son earlier, and I just want to know, what's the toughest thing about being a dad out on the campaign trail?
Not seeing my kids.
Not seeing your kids.
sucks.
Yeah, I think your daughter mentioned you've been home maybe 6 days this whole, like since June.
Well, I've been off 5 days, but that doesn't mean I've been home. I've been home working out, in and out, but as far as having a day with her, 5 days, it's been rough.
They also said you're quite good at Temple Run. Would you like to maybe make a comment about that?
My kids load all this, when I get home, my kids load all this junk on my iPad. And so my daughter started playing this, and I said, that looks like fun. She goes, don't play it, Dad, you'll get addicted. So I played it once, and here I am. I'm addicted.